All right, good afternoon, guys. This is May the 9th, and I had to do a separate video for this to talk about a huge passing that just happened today. One of the greatest managers in the history of Major League Baseball has left us. Robert Joe Cox has passed away. He started as a player for the New York Yankees for a couple of seasons in their real desolate period, 1968 and 1969. He came back there in 1977 as the first base coach for Billy Martin's team and earned a World Series ring that year, 1977, and then went to the Atlanta Braves 1978 to 1981 as their manager for the Braves, and then they won the East the next year in 1982. He managed the Toronto Blue Jays after that and managed them to their first division title in 1985 and took them all the way to the ALCS that season where they lost to the Royals. He then went back to the Atlanta Braves as a general manager in the right after that in like the late 80s. And it was there that as the general manager, he accumulated players like Steve Avery, John Smoltz, Ron Gant, Dave Justice, and others through the farm system. And he was also responsible for drafting Chipper Jones. He replaced Russ Nixon after the 1989 season. The Braves through the 80s, after like 1982, were a complete laughingstock. And 1990, they had a last place finish in his first year back as manager of the Atlanta Braves. But after that, they dominated, went from worst to first. 1991, and went to the World Series, and they dominated for like the next decade and a half, at least the National League West and then National League East after the realignment, winning many division titles. Bobby Cox winning 2,504 games in his illustrious managing career, won 5 National League pennants and a World Series title. This comes off the heels of the passing of Ted Turner, the longtime owner of the Braves, of course, the whole time that Bobby Cox was there. So this has been a very jarring week for the Braves faithful and for that organization. Two absolute giants have left us in the last few days. Today, Robert Joe Cox passing away, an absolutely incredible manager. What he accomplished during his time with not only the Braves but even with Toronto is just really unparalleled for his era, for his generation. What a great manager. A lot of that talent that he drafted and accumulated in the late 80s came right up through here in Richmond, Virginia, the Richmond Braves. So this is a local thing too, but this is a sad day for Andy's Braves, and just got to say, rest in peace, Bobby Cox, an incredible manager in Major League Baseball. All right, guys, have a good one.